Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are here for the PCL D-League Week 5. This is my match against Zucifer, coach of the Detroit Magnetons. Now, before we even get into this game, I just want to say I think this is the worst matchup I have had this whole season so far, and I honestly believe this is going to be the worst matchup I have altogether. So, that's definitely really bad for me. Like, he has a Mega Glade that I believe, without any swords dances up, can 2-hit KO every mon on my team. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it can 2-hit KO every mon on my team with the combination of Close Combat and Zen. Maybe he needs knockoff to 2-hit Bronzong, I'm unsure. No, I think he should 2-hit KO with Close Combat. But yeah, that's definitely not very good for me, seeing that can just destroy my team. He also has a Greninja, which is also going to be able to absolutely destroy me. I do believe his Greninja was Protean, so yeah, that's pretty bad. And then you see he also has a Jirachi, which again was not great. I could at least somewhat deal with Jirachi, but still kind of a threat. He also had a Lando T, which I didn't deal with extremely well. Luckily, he didn't bring it. This Rotom Heat, I feel like my team doesn't deal with incredibly well. I mean, I have switch-ins to it at least, but it's not the best. And then Crobat and Blastoise I'm not too afraid of for this match. So let me quickly get into my team. Now, this week I realized, this Glade's going to be a huge issue, and it's way too fast for my team. So I actually went ahead and put 3 Scarfers on this team. It was originally going to be 2. We were originally just going to go with Scarf Magina, and Scarf Nihi. But, we were looking at a team matchup, and Scarf Haxorus, he just looked really good in this match as well. So let me run through these sets here. So we have Scarfed Magina with the Floor Cannon, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, and Volt Switch, which is able to hit pretty much everything he brought. I mean, Jirachi is going to not appreciate Shadow Ball too much. Blastoise is not going to appreciate Volt that much. Gallade is not going to take Floor Cannon at all. Crobat's not going to take an Ice Beam or a Volt Switch. Rotom Heat's definitely the best mon that he could switch into me. And then Gren is 100% just going to drop to a Floor Cannon, although Gren doesn't have to always be a Dark type, of course. But unless it resists it, Greninja should always die to Floor Cannon still. So that's just something nice for this matchup. Moving on, we have Nihilego, which is also Scarfed, with Power Gem, Foul Play, Dazzling Gleam, and HP Ice. We had to have Foul Play on there just to try and hit Rochi in some way. We didn't want the set to just be full walled by Jirachi, so that's why we have Foul Play. We had HP Ice for the Lando, and then the combination of Power Gem and D-Gleam for Glade and Gren, and then Power Gem hits pretty much everything else pretty powerfully. So, yeah, that was pretty nice for this week. Moving on, we have P2 with the Eviolite, with the Tri-Attack, Shadow Ball, Trick Room, and Recover. That's definitely an interesting set, considering I have 3 Scarfers to bring Trick Room, but pretty much the goal of this was to try and be like an end game sweeper, as, we were pretty much relying on the 3 Scarfers to just break down his team, and then we were hoping P2 could come in and pretty much finish off whatever's left under the Trick Room, as we are an offensive P2 with max special attack on it. It hits pretty much everything with a combination of Tri-Attack and Shadow Ball, so that's very nice. Moving on, we have the Bronzong with the Colbur Berry, Stealth Rocks, HP Ice, Gyro Ball, Earthquake. This is easily my best switch in Orlando T on the team. Also my Rocker, which you can see he doesn't exactly appreciate. I mean, he has 225% weak mons, or mons that take 25% on entry. And, I mean, the rest isn't bad, but I want to break a potential Sash on Gren, because that's an option, I guess. And, I mean, the other 3 take it pretty well, but, I feel like it's definitely good to have up. Gyro Ball, I do not remember what I had it on there for exactly. I don't know if there was any mon specifically I had it on there for, or if I just kind of put it on there. And, Earthquake was there to hit something that apparently isn't hit. I don't know what I have these attacks for. It's been a little while since I played this match, so I kind of forgot what he has in his team, because I pretty much don't remember like any mons people have that they don't bring. So that's great. Moving on, we have the Mega Venusaur with the Giga Drain knockoff Synthesis Sludge Bomb. I mean, it's a bulky Venusaur, but it pretty much, hits everything fine with that, and Synthesis just there to get some health back. Pretty standard Spadef Venusaur. And finally we have the Choice Scarfed Haxorus with the Aqua Tail, Outrage, Poison Jab, and Earthquake. So that is the team that we have for this week. Let's get right into the game. Okay, so you can see we are challenged by Pokemon Trainer Zucifer. So he is going to lead, I'm going to lead P2 as he's going to lead Rochi. And this is actually really good for me as, you know, I can pretty much throw off a Shadow Ball here and do a good chunk to this Jirachi. As he does have the Air Balloon, which is definitely good info, as I'm going to get my down mode boost into Spatak. So this Shadow Ball is going to do so much as he goes for Iron Head, and we actually don't flinch, which was very surprising. You know, first Iron Head, no flinch, and that's going to do so much to Jirachi. So that's one huge threat pretty much dealt with already. So now I'm going to switch out, as I do feel like P2's health was pretty important to me in this match, and I'm going to bring out my Bronzong. I didn't want to risk getting flinched down with P2 there, as he does get his Stealth Rocks up here, so he was sacking it there, and I didn't take it where I probably should have. But now I'm going to go for my own rocks, I do believe, as he's actually going to switch out. I kind of figured he might switch out to potentially keep this for like Healing Wish later. That's what I was expecting. But I'm going to get my Stealth Rocks up right now as this Rotom has come in. And I believe I'm going to go straight into my Nihilego here, as, you know, I was considering going Haxorus, but I didn't want to risk a Will-O-Wisp burn, so he actually does fire off a Will-O-Wisp here, which, you know, it's pretty nice to avoid that. And having this in right now is really good for me, since he doesn't, I mean, his Power Gem resist would be Jirachi or Gallade, and I don't think he's going to go hard Gallade, so I'm thinking he's just going to sack Rochi. I actually almost locked into D-Gloom here, and if I'd done that, I would be able to do a good amount to Gallade at +1 after getting the boost from KOing Rochi, because that should always be the sack. So that would have been nice, but I did lock Power Gem, so Nihilego does knock out this Jirachi really early, almost very good for me. Now he's going to send out his Gallade, I do believe, as that is his Power Gem resist at this point. I believe that's his only resist. Yeah. So we do see the... Oh no, Blastoise is actually switching here. So I'm going to switch out here. I do not want to sack this Mon off, and I believe I go into... What do I go into? Venusaur. Okay, so I go into Venusaur as he does fire off an Earthquake this turn, which you're going to see doesn't do all that much. I was kind of expecting him to either throw off a Scald or spin there. I'm not too sure why he went for Earthquake. I mean, it would have knocked out Nihilego, but I do feel like the better play there was probably spin. But I'm now going to go for a knockoff. Oh no, sorry, I go for Synthesis here. I realize there's probably no chance of him staying in, and Knock's not going to do all that much to bat. So, wait, no, I don't even have knockoff, do I? I just realized that. I definitely, oh no, I do have knockoff, sorry. So, I'm going to Mega, and just go for a Synthesis here. I really do like my health on this Venusaur here, as this is my main switch into Greninja, so I need to keep my health around. So, I believe now I'm going to go out into my Nihilego again, as he is not going to be doing... Oh no, I go McGinn at him, because I figured he's probably going to click like Brave Bird here, or like Nasty Plot if he's Nasty Bat potentially, and, you know, I can send him McGinn on that. And he goes for Super Fang, which, that was good. That was pretty good there, and you're going to see me again, it takes half, of course. So now, I mean, I'm going to click Ice Beam, I believe. Or do I Volt? I probably Volt. Volt makes more sense here. As he brings out the Blastoise, yeah, I definitely do Volt Switch out here. So, this was definitely really good, because Blastoise is pretty weakened at this point. And I'm going to go into my Venusaur again now, and this time I'm going to knock off, I believe. I don't believe... Wait, no, did I Giga Drain here, or knock? Pretty sure I go for a knockoff this turn. Though I could be wrong. I'm wrong. I go for the Giga Drain, and you're going to see he literally takes this on 1 HP and gets to click Rapid Spin. Which sucks. I mean, I could have kept Rocks up had he not lived on 1 here. And, I mean, this turn I'm going to go for a knockoff, and he's definitely going to let Blastoise go down, but that was pretty big, as Rocks still hit, like, what he had left pretty hard. So that definitely sucks. And I actually was originally going to put some, like, a tiny bit of special attack investment in my Venusaur, but
I got convinced that that wasn't a good idea. If I'd done that, I would have KO'd that. So that kind of sucks. But now he's going to bring out Gallade, and I'm going to go straight out into my Bronzong. I know there's a good chance he's going to Swords Dance, but it is not worth predicting that, because if I lose my Venusaur, I'm probably going to just lose to the Greninja. So he's going to Mega Evolve, of course, and then he is going to just straight click Swords Dance. And I mean, at this point, that's Bronzong dead. I believe if he was like if he was a speed boosting nature and not adamant, there was a chance I could live this. But you're gonna see I do just drop. So that sucks, as that means I'm not gonna be able to get rocks up at any point for the rest of this game, which definitely isn't good. But now I can bring out my Magearna here, and I know he's definitely going to be threatened out. There's no reason I'd go Magearna if I wasn't Scarfed, so I know he's going to be threatened out, so I can just go for a Volt Switch here, as I believe he brings out the Crobat. Yep, that is exactly what he does. He brings out the Bat, which is definitely very good for us, as that is going to take a good chunk. And I believe I bring out Nihilego now, or Haxorus. I wanted to keep our offensive pressure up. I go Nihilego. So at this point, I'm just going to click Power Gem. I have no reason not to. His only switch in would be Gallade, and I mean, even if he makes that, he's taking some chip damage. And I kind of want to try and put him in Haxorus range. That would be very nice for me, as Haxorus is definitely looking like a good end game for me here. So he's actually just going to sack off the Crobat, which was fine. I don't think Crobat would have done too much for him at this point. The only thing it could really do is try and break Venusaur, which he can do with Gallade anyway, so that's fine. So now he's going to send out Gallade as, I mean, Rotom would die to Power Gem, and Gren, if it doesn't have Shuriken, I believe would also die, so he didn't really have an option here. And Power Gem isn't going to do too much, with like 30%, yeah, it does like 30. And he's just going to go straight for a close combat, and I believe now is where I send out my Haxorus, as he's definitely in Outrage range at this point. And if I can get rid of this Gallade, I'm going to be in a really good position right now, as I don't believe there's going to be many ways, or like any way, honestly, he could beat my Mega Venusaur. So he is going to, he's actually going to stay in here, as I do fire off an Outrage, and that is going to knock out this Gallade, which is extremely good for us, as now all he has left is the Rotom and the Greninja. And I mean, Gran's not going to come in here. Rotom is really the only play. Try and go for a Wisp, I was assuming, because I mean, he knows I'm Scarfed, and Rotom's definitely going to live this, so that's fine. But he actually takes it a lot better than I was expecting, and gets a Reflect up, showing that he is a Screens Rotom. So that was a bit surprising to see he wasn't like an offensive set. But I mean, I'd already seen Wisp, but I figured there was a good chance he was like 3 attacks Wisp. But honestly, we do not knock him out here, and he does fire off the Will-O-Wisp. So now my Haxorus is definitely not going to be hitting that Gren too powerfully with Outrage. That's if I even get through Confusion this turn to knock out the Rotom first. So I will be going for Outrage, of course. At this point, there is no reason not to, as I'm going to break through, and that is going to be the end of Rotom. And now all he has left is his Greninja. I believe I still have 4 Mons left, including this Haxorus. So I'm gonna of course have to stay in here, and without a crit, there's no way Gren's going down to Outrage. So he's always going to be able to just Ice Beam and get this KO. As you do see, I do hit myself. So that could suck if he is sashed. I don't think there's any way he could really win this game still. Even if he is sashed, I should still be able to win this game. So that's fine, as he does just knock out Haxorus with an Ice Beam. Now I'm going to bring out my Magearna, and I'm just going to click Floor Cannon. I realized, you know, I'm Scarfed, I should outspeed this, as he's shown he's not Scarfed. And if he is not sashed, he's going down here. If he's sashed, he can knock me out, but, you know, he isn't. So that's really good, and that is going to be a nice 3-0 win for us. Had he been sashed, he still technically could have won. He would have knocked me out with probably like HP Fire or Hydro Pump, or something like that, and then the only way he could win was if he froze my P2 and Mega Venusaur. I do not believe he could have won had he not done that, but you know, he technically could have still won if he was sashed. I'm unsure what he was. Actually, I believe he said he was oh no, that wasn't. I actually don't know what he was actually then. He may have been Specs or something. Let me have a look if I actually asked him what the Gren was. Don't believe I did. Yeah, no, I didn't ask him what the grind was, so we'll never know. But yeah, anyway, that was the week 5 game. We moved to 5-0, back to number 1 in our division now, which is very nice. Next week we are taking on Mop of Justice, who is also having a really strong season so far. So hopefully we can continue the winning streak and move on to 6-0. But I mean, you won't know till next week. So yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Bye.